Hi, today's expert series topic are central kitchens, commissary, shipping kitchens, and prep kitchens. My name's Lynn Shavinsky, and I'm the regional sales manager here at Healthy Pro. I've been with Healthy Pro for over 13 years, and prior to that, I was a food service director in 4 different districts, all of whom had central kitchens. First, let's start with a discussion about what is a central kitchen. A central kitchen is a singular location, generally a large production facility that will make things in bulk and distribute them out through a variety of different means to satellite locations. An on site production kitchen is where each site cooks independently. A central kitchen is the opposite of that, where you have the main production kitchen and then multiple receiving kitchens, some of which may be finishing and have cooking ability, all the way through to some hybrid options where there's a mixture of cooking large batch items, for example, at a central facility and shipping those out, but then everything else being cooked independently. So, what is the point of a central kitchen? Well, there's a lot of benefits. The main pieces come down to financial, related to operations menu and obviously the bottom dollar of purchasing. A central kitchen can help out significantly in the area of cost. For an operation, you're having a very specific identified menu, the controlling portions, the controlling purchases for the amounts of food that are happening, with a singular point for USDA compliance, ensuring that that has all been met in the production piece is one of the main reasons why people move over to central kitchens. The operations ensure following a standardized recipe. It helps with inventory and forecasting because, again, everything is running through that one central location. With the menu, the staff can be very focused, can explore more options for scratch cooking often because as a larger facility with more access to larger equipment or scratch cooking equipment, it can be cheaper to purchase it for that one location and then have things prepared there and sent out to everybody else rather than having, for example, a chopper at every location. Oftentimes, it can be easier to integrate special meals as well because you're bringing in an item that is unique, but you can use that product up more quickly by having it located in a central facility rather than in individual kitchens that it may take longer to get through. There's also issues related to quality and HACCP that need to be considered with the menu, but again, you have singular points of touch on a piece of or on a menu, so therefore it makes it a little bit easier to track, how is it being thawed, how is it being held, what's the temperatures, what is the shipping piece that is going into that for temperature. And then lastly, just the economies of scale that can be provided for food and labor and equipment. Again, being able to bring your food in centrally to one location, you may be able to have better drop, better distributor pricing because you're only doing one singular drop, or that you can get larger volumes because it's coming into one location. You have some labor flexibility of being able to bring in labor that is skilled into that cooking facility and then just having finishing or extending hours to go out to the locations otherwise. And then also being able to keep track of food production. So when it's being produced in one location, there's less of a chance of overproduction. You have improved labor efficiency because everything is right there in one location with all of the equipment that you might need. So, what are the considerations? If you're thinking about that, all sounds great. Now, what do I have to think about in order to change and move over to a centralized kitchen? There's a few areas of focus there. The first is capital investment. Obviously, there are going to be pieces of equipment that are unique. or that are just larger than what you may have. Being able to find an oven that's larger, kettles that are larger, mixers that are larger than what you would have to produce, say, 300 meals at a site. Maybe now you're looking at thousands of meals. And so you need to be able to invest in some equipment that's going to help with that, as well as a facility that can handle that kind of volume. You don't want to try to overproduce in a small location. We've all done that before and realize that, that's just a recipe for somebody getting hurt or food not being at the best quality. You have to consider transport equipment and investing in that, freezer, refrigeration, and dry storage. You're going to be bringing more product in, so being able to safely keep that food. And then also, how does it work with the truck? Do you need a loading dock? Do you need access ramps? Those kinds of things. And then the menu, which is key to your business. So, what is your menu going to be? Can you keep the menu the same? Is the intent to do more scratch cooking by using a centralized facility? And if you do that, are you going to be able to have the skill set for the staff, which is another piece we'll talk about? But will they have those skills, or can you bring in at least one person to guide that central kitchen? Production staff. Also, what kind of production are you going to do? And how are you sending it out? Is it bulk? Is it unitized? Is it a hybrid? For every central kitchen I worked in, there was a different way of shipping, a different way of presenting food. So you'll need to think through that because it will affect packaging and other areas of how your menu goes out. And lastly, can you efficiently utilize the space to create the menus that you want? You can increase and have more choices if perhaps you have different areas for salads or fruits and vegetables, and really pull in some focus for prepping those areas. But if things are just kind of a jumble and everyone's searching for space, you may not get that efficiency piece. Staff training is the next consideration. This is the core to your success, is ensuring that your staff has the training to be able to put forth the product that you want. So volume preparation is a lot different because of timing, because of preparation, how you advance prep for things that are high volume. And then your HACCP processes are also going to significantly be impacted. So you want to make sure that you have the ability to train the staff on that area and ensure ongoing training. New equipment requires training as well. Forecasting and ordering is a job in itself, and oftentimes technology can help with things like that because number crunching to get totals and to get shift amounts and to get what has been ordered in the past by each of those areas is easy kind of information that can be crunched by computers. But looking at those steps of preparation, transport, tracking, and receiving throughout the process of your production is going to be key. And your staff needs to have a strong foothold on that piece. Obviously, transportation takes a much larger role when everybody's waiting for their food to be sent out. So, what kind of vehicles do you have? What kind of transport equipment do you have? Is it sufficient? Is it good enough for HACCP requirements as well? Hot and cold transport and holding. Can you make the schedules work? A lot of you may be in very busy areas or very rural areas where schools are spread out, and what is the time frame to be able to send food, making sure that it stays at the correct temperatures and quality, but also just being able to get there with factors like um, just the number of miles between locations and or the amount of traffic. How can you optimize fuel and routing, because those are going to be costs as in addition to the maintenance of the truck itself. And staffing is your number one piece. This is the core of your success because if your staff doesn't have the buy in or doesn't have the training or isn't prepared and understanding why the change is going to happen, it's not likely to be successful. So you want to make sure that everybody is on board, they get the training that they need, there's a commitment to that piece and helping people out and showing them the value. So is it that they can have more hours because now they can be at a central kitchen and the site and follow that food along? Is it that we need to just reallocate meals per labor hour and bring in some additional staffing centrally and have less at the school site, or adjust how we do our school site staffing? But taking those things into consideration is going to make or break how your success goes. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Healthy Pro does offer a production option for centralized meals where we ship product out on transport sheets. So if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.